today I'm here on the steps of some person who speaks out not only for St. Andrew, but mostly put White Hill on the map. All right, she speaks out for the community matters. She's a community activist, and somebody I'm proud to say is my neighbor. So I would like to just talk with her about the neighborhood and what has changed. You know, just have a nice little conversation and see what's been going on in the neighborhood, what's been happening around. Because I haven't been here in a while, so I would like to introduce to you guys a woman by the name of
Carlita Andrew.
Okay. So today I'm gonna ask you a few questions, right? We've been talking about this. Every time we see each other, we start to discuss what's going on in the community and what's going on with the road and the bus situation and different matters. I had to come and find out not only the easy way but the hard way too. So how long you've been in the neighborhood?
About 30-somebody years.
And within that time, what changes have you seen?
A lot of changes has been made. As recent as 2014, well, life has gone downhill for us in the community from 2014, November 22nd to be exact, when the road has broken down.
Slipped, right?
And from then, life has been hard for us. But thank God, up to this day, 2023, we still surviving and we still made it through the help of God. Well, we was promised a road from that time, and as I speak, the road is in progress. The road
made, right?
The road, yeah, they started now doing the road from in March, between March and April. The road has started. They have started the
cutting the road,
cutting down the trees and spreading down the and cutting the tractors, cutting the excavator, cutting the area where the road has to go. So, well, this is the first of phase. This is phase 1. Because it's supposed to be phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Well, we are into phase 1, where the road is with building the road is concerned. But however, a lot of residents has moved out to the area by they has relocated to neighboring district. Some has relocated to Farmers, St. Thomas. Some has relocated to Apeshill because due to landslip ridge. However, the few that remain we are still in peace and quiet, and in the beautiful ambience, the beautiful scenery of White Hill. White Hill, the best district in Barbados. It's unspoiled.
Argue with you about that.
Pardon?
A lot of people will argue with you about
that.
The
only problem that we have is the problems that we have is beyond our control. And if we could have controlled it, we would have. But apart from that, way nature is concerned, it is the most beautiful unspoiled district in Barbados. And in beautiful St. Andrew, the best parish in Barbados. Beautiful and unspoiled.
Okay.
And the problems that we are facing, we having water challenges, bus challenges, and the garbage. We have our challenges. Other districts have it also, not only White Hill, but every problem that there is in the book, we face it. So we know that we are special people, because I know that we can come up victorious. Because I know everybody that come to White Hill loves the ambience and where the new road is is going up when the road is cut. It's already an attraction. So I know when we get this new road, it's gonna be the best.
I hope it is. I hope it is. I truly hope it is.
Yes, it's gonna be the best. I have seen it because the road is cutting actually behind my home, and every time you look, when you're seeing people coming from all walks of life, and the road is just in the first stage. You know, the way they're doing the excavation and stuff like that. So if it's this already, well, I don't want to see when it's completed. You know, and the scenery is just breathtaking. It's a scenery to die for.
It is.
It is $1 million scenery. What Hill as itself has a beautiful scenery, and this add to its values, because where this road is cultivated, where this road is going now, is right connecting to Mount Hillaby, which is the highest peak in Barbados, the highest point in Barbados. So I guess who knows the area will know what I'm speaking about. But apart from that, life, you know, a little harder now since the road broken down, because financially is a burden on us, because let me elaborate a little bit on that. The reason why it's a burden is what used to take us like 5 or 10 minutes to get from one place to another, it's taking us an hour or 45 minutes to get there. So it means more gasoline or diesel in the vehicle, and you know, parts wear and tear, parts are wear and tear. So is a financial burden on us along with this, and right now things hard, so it's a financial burden on us. So I guess that,
don't worry, Carlita. It's just kids.
I guess that as the road progresses, that this will change. But my dream is to see traffic flowing throughout this community again, because this road, this Whitehill Road, it's an artery. This road could lead you into St. Andrew, on to St. Joseph, to St. John, up to St. George, and it can lead you to when you go into St. Andrew, you can go to Shorey Village, you can go into St. Peter and St. Lucie. So it's like, you know, it's a main artery, so it needs to be fixed.
It needs to be. Couldn't agree more. Earlier we were talking and you mentioned you ran into a situation where you had to argue with a bus driver because they try to charge you. Yeah. Before
we used to on the shuttle bus, the stipulations was when we get on the bus we have to pay $3.50 when we get down there on the shuttle. That was the rules from the transport board. So when we get on the shuttle and we pay this $3.50, when we get bottom now, there is no bus. It means that if the bus takes 2 and 3 hours to come from down, that's the time that we have to wait, because there ain't nothing else that we can catch. Because the road is one way in, one way out. Fine. Now, I said it was not fair to us, because when you get down there and you pay, no, you will have to get a drop up the hill, which is up that Sturgis Hill, is the neighboring district. To get a van from up there, you have to pay $3.50 fresh again. Oh, wow. So that is not fair. And with this harsh economic times, this is not. It's not feasible. It's not fair to us. So I have called numerous times, and nothing has been done. One morning I took the bus. I saw a supervisor on the bus. I asked the driver if there's a bus down there. The driver said yes. When we get down there, was a small van that could only hold 14, and had almost 100 persons down there. So it could only hold 14. So you do the math. You do the math. So I took the stand. I said I am not getting out of this bus until I get back my money. Mind you, when you put the $3.50 in the fare box, you cannot get it back out. So I tell the driver, this bus ain't going nowhere until I get back my money. The driver proceeded to take the money out his bag and hand. I said, it's not fair for you to give my one back the $350 and the others didn't get back them one. It has to end today. This is nonsense because y'all taking people money knowing that y'all don't have the bus, the required bus, and y'all taking people money is not fair. So I spoke to management. I paid the extra bus fare, went where I was going when I came back home. I spoke to management. I step up. I spoke to the CEO.
Because it would be a lot of money, you know.
Yes, because this was going on. This was going on for months. This was going on, not even for more than for months. This was going on. So I said, no, life is already hard for us financially, and to that another burden is added. You're speaking out and no one is listening. So I decide I'm gonna take a stand because I tell the driver I am not moving out of this bus though until I get back my $350 that I could pay the bus to go. But I couldn't. But I step off the bus because the children, I consider the children had to go to school, pay extra $350 to get where I was going. Fine. When I came back home, I spoke to management, the CEO, because I step up the game because when I spoke to the manager, terminal manager, I didn't get in the way and I was doing it for too long. So the CEO was very cooperative. He have a wonderful, fantastic secretary. And we talked. He said he's going to look into it, and he did. But what applauded me about the CEO, he came with a written apology.
Wow, that's amazing.
He came, he leave. He said, Miss Andrews, I am coming. And I said, I tired with this talk. I need action. I said I will be the Barbados Rosa Parks. I said I am not. I said I have a team. I have residents. We decided. I telling you what we decided. We are getting on that bus and we are not paying. We are not putting a cent in that bus. He said, Miss Andrews, I am coming. When he came with the terminal manager and another worker and himself. Brought a written apology and a letter stating that we no longer have to pay on the bus.
Yeah, because that would be a lot of money.
When we get on to the bus that going to Bridgetown, then we would pay. Because sometimes it's not always that a bus is there. Because it doesn't have sufficient buses to go to and fro. And that is how that part changed.
So today I really want to talk about the development on the road, right? Because the development on the road and mostly like the people moving out. Can you give me some news or just like explain to me like what's gonna happen to the residents and what they've been telling you guys about not only moving but finding a spot for you, whether it's down farmers or if so.
I laugh at that because honestly speaking, where that is concerned, nobody relates to us. Nobody relates to us. What we learn in the media. Nobody relates to us on that. What we learn in the media just like anybody else. Nobody, the last year, in August, just before St. Andrew speaks, the Prime Minister came down here and she said the houses that is slated to be moved on the other side of the road, she want the information and and then the people were supposed to move in the houses before December for Christmas. Since then, nobody said anything. Nobody still ain't moved. The house is still the same place, and nobody come to tell us anything. What we learn from the media. Like nobody don't come to us.
You don't have no community activists that relates the message from what
the Chinese.
Yeah, from.
Well, listen.
Or dealing with.
What I can say is that there's an interpreter because when they had it, imagine the road started and I asked for a town hall meeting. We got a town hall meeting after the road started. And what I see the Chinese was doing, it was not what we accustomed to, whereas they would come on your property, they don't speak, and they're just coming on and doing what they feel like. So I had to relate to them that you don't do business so here. So I asked the question, why are they here and there's not a agent to guide them? Because of the different culture barriers, you know. Maybe that's what they do in China. I just assume because I have never been to China. Maybe that's what they do in China. So at the town hall meeting, I explained to them. So they said they're going to give me an interpreter, which they did. So any problem I have where here is concerned, like the road is concerned, behind my house, any problem I have, what I does, I relates to the interpreter, the Chinese interpreter, who is a Barbadian. And they are very cooperative, I must say. And let me tell you, the Chinese is doing a fantastic job, I must say that. But the persons that supposed to be the engineer, that's supposed to be telling the Chinese what to do, you cannot relate to that. They are not listening. The gentleman is not listening to the residents. The resident telling them what they are seeing happening. But he is saying it. He don't live down here, but he's saying no, that's not what happening. So I had to question him on his credentials. I said, what is your profession really? Because I said, but if we live down here and we are telling you what is going on, who is you to tell me what you feel, what you think? This is not what you think. That is why you are there. That's what you are being paid for, to listen to the residents. That's why they put you there. Because the Chinese cannot communicate with us because of the language barrier. You understand? So I said, who are you to question the resident? You can't have 4 different persons you went to. Nobody knew you was coming to say, well, they coordinate this. You understand? No, but you just came. He didn't came with an ID. He just gave you his surname and a cell number. That's all you have. And he didn't say, well, so I let him know because he gave his number that the residents have problems.
Call him, right?
Yes, I called him. I let him know that when the rain fall, because the rain flooded out my house, the rain flooded out onto my house. So I had to call, and that's how I get in contact with this gentleman. They sent him and he saw what was going on. So they diverted the water from my house now. And it went on others washing with the neighbor's son, a whole load of sand and stuff like that. The neighbor was upset. So I called him, and he came 2 weeks after. And the other residents, let him know how the water does be flowing, because what happening, why they are having this problem, and this is what he's not listening to. The water normally flows in 2 different angles. So now they got the water channel one place. So obviously, with all the trees that taken down from up there, you got more water flowing down. Exactly. So it's gonna cause a problem. We try to relate this to him, and he's saying it can't happen. I don't know how you could come when the sun is hot to look for water trail. When the rain, I called him when the rainfall. He didn't come when the rainfall. He come 2 weeks after when the sun is hot for the whole 2 weeks to look for water trail.
But it's mostly coral up there, so it's going down and it's cracking up the land.
Yes, it is. So I said to him, you have to learn to listen to the resident. You don't live up here. Listen to what the people is saying. He don't want to listen. So I said, if you can't listen to me, I have nothing more to say to you. You are not listening to the resident. Nobody's going to cooperate with you. How are you going to know what is wrong? You are here to relate and to try to fix the problem that we are facing, because obviously when you have construction going on, you're going to have disruptions. You're going to have problems. And you are here to listen to the people and the problems and to try to get it fixed. But if you are not listening, how are you going to fix the problem? You are a problem yourself.
He doesn't live in the community either.
He does not live in the community to listen to the people. His problem is that he's not listening. So I tell him, if you want to be God, you be God. But you're certainly not my God. I have nothing more to say to you. Do what you want to do. The residents he's not in listening to the resident. How are they going to solve the problem? So this is another problem that escalates. Nobody ever told us that the engineer, because at the town hall meeting, they introduced one engineer to us.
So
No,
10 different people you've met.
so nobody never told us that the engineer has changed. He come and say that he is the engineer. That's what he said. Then when he come back, he tell me he is a land surveyor. So I tell you, well, nobody down here selling the land. I don't understand what is going on. I don't like the disrespect and what we have been dealt with. Because even if the changes, they have the right to do what they want. Nobody bring him and say, well, he's John Brown. Nobody never tell you what his preference. He just tell you what he want to tell you. And I tell you are not God.
Okay.
And I have nothing more to say.
So I wanna ask you something. So you mentioned this when we were talking previously. The whole water situation. Like, what's the issue with the water situation down here to you?
Well, I live in this community for 30 somebody years. And this was like, this water problem was from, I understand, from way back before that. But what I can say, I think the problem with this water lies with management. It is. Because you gonna have burst pipes up in here. They got the main, for instance, burst up in there for months. They got a pipe down there burst 2 places for months. They're not coming to fix the pipe, and all the water going under the earth, saturating the place out here is.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be talking about land slippage, but they are contributing to it as usual. Now up in there in the road that breakaway already, the main up in there burst. You be calling water authority reputedly.
I remember, yes, calling for that.
Calling. And nobody ain't coming. You can't get running water in your house.
To be honest with you, like the light used to be off when you coming out through George Martin. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
Right
and
there was always slipping.
You will be
like
calling them profusely and reporting it. Nobody's coming to fix it.
Yep.
You let them know you don't have no running water in your home, they don't seem to care. Because actually where they live, they have running water. So I'm tired. Just tired of complaining. Well, they trying. The few persons that would love to do good and do something for us, they are the ones that hands are tied. They are not in authority to do. But I know if they could, they would. There are a few good souls up in the Baptist Water Authority. Yeah. But the ones that can do, they are not doing what they're supposed to do. They are given telephones by the government, cell phones. When you call them, they're giving you the number for the first time. When you call back, them ain't answering you. No, then you left a message, they are not returning your call. So I always tell them, don't give me it. Because I don't want it, because when I ain't going to answer the phone. It makes no sense.
To them it do. To them it do. You have a way of contacting me. Because I don't want to be contacted. So
exactly.
I'm not answering.
So it's like, this is where our problem lies. Our problem is management. Has to do with management. It's not like we don't have no water. They say the water is this is the water scarce country. And everywhere you look, you see burst mains.
That is true.
And you can't get the water in your house, but yet so you got to pay the bill, you know.
Yeah.
Every month. And the thing that got me, this is the...
They chunk it in there, right?
They
snuck it in there for you too?
This is the thing that got me. When we are getting water, the bill, this be one price. When we are not getting water, this bill is skyrocket. I don't know.
You're being taxed for
no, the air in the pipe, the air in the air in the when you turn on the pipe, the meter jump, and it jump the meter.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that is why we end up. You can't blame the meter reader. Because he could only see. No.
Yes, you can.
No.
I'm telling you, you can. Because it could be a scheme where, you know, mechanics, it can be fixed. It can be fixed.
Yeah, but when you open the pipe full of air, and it jump the meter, it mash up all you faucets. Sometimes not having running water. I remember one time for 4 months straight, not a drop of water running the pipe. And for all those times, you know, we got to be paying a water bill. There's nobody ever say, oh, let me give the people a rebate on the bill. Nothing so. Nothing so we have.
You also mentioned about the tanks they're installing. So,
yeah. Well, the tanks now, this is how we come, because I read online, I saw where they were giving other tanks, and funny enough, we that have the water problem was not getting them. So I contacted the department and I said, it is not right that we paying a water bill, not getting water, and the people that ain't getting the water, the people that ain't getting the water paying the largest bill, and we could get tanks too. We deserve tanks because we paid so much money for so much years and ain't getting the water. When you go anywhere, you say they ask you where you live, and you say you're from what hill. Oh, you mean that place that you don't get no water and ain't got no road? That's how we are being labeled.
Wow.
So, and the only body that ain't seeing that we ain't getting the water is the Barbados Water Authority. We still have to be paying the bill.
Yeah.
We still have to be paying the bill. I asked why. We signed a contract for the bill. I said, but you all signed a contract too to give us water. So I don't understand. I cannot fight it alone. But I think that some sort of rebate should be given to us for all of these time, because they knew, not they don't know, they know that we don't have water, because we just be bombarding the water authority, the radio station, the newspaper. It's all out there in the public domain. So ain't like they don't know. I have to went as far as the Fair Trading Commission. The Fair Trading Commission, because I don't think it was fair to us. I did it all.
I mean, yeah.
You know, and the result is the tank. Unfortunately, everybody has not been given a tank as yet. I don't know if they got plans of giving everybody the tanks, but everybody have not gotten a tank down here. But in my opinion, every household in Whitehill should be getting a tank, because everybody is facing the same problem down here with water.
Very much so.
If I got a tank at my house, which in any one of my neighbor, I have 2 tanks there, any one of my neighbor could come and get some water. But the average person is not going to allow people to get water at the tank, because at the end of the day, them is who paying the water bill. Like every time a neighbor, if you got 6 or 7 neighbor, I don't mind doing it. But the other person is not going to look at it that way, because I remember the times, and the thing about it, when some person have water, others don't have, because my neighbor lived just there. I used to go take a hose and put on his pipe to fill up my bucket, or go and fill up my buckets at my neighbor's pipe, because they just have water and over here don't have any. My neighbors that live past it don't get water too regular. They will get at night when everybody is sleeping. And but them want sleep to them as bats.
I don't know, they gotta use the water while, you know what I mean, they sleep. That's what they're expecting.
Yeah, and it's caused you sleepless nights. Sometimes you gotta take your clothes to the laundry to get washed. That is another financial burden. You have to take your clothes to the laundry. You have to catch the bus with your buckets to go and catch water. I explained all of this. It was proven by they decided then to start installing the tanks. But I think for the time that this tank program they're up, they should make sure that every person in Whitehill, because this is the only district in St. Andrew that has got this serious water problem like this. Hillby does go off and come on. Hillby does got problems too, but not like us. We are the worst when it comes to water. Because our St. Joseph ain't got no water, we don't have any either. It's the worst. You know what? You imagine going 4 months without your tap running. When the water came back on, I had to go and buy a bathroom faucet for $175 to put back in my bathroom. Because the plumber said because there was no running water in it, it kind of, when the pipe came back on the water, it mashed it up. All of these is financial burden, and we have to shoulder these burden ourselves.
It's taking money out of your pocket
that you don't even have. That you don't. We can't go back to the water authority and say, here, this is what happened. Produce a bill and looking to get. We can't even get a rebate for the bill that we pay, and they know that we don't have no water. Far less for them to be paying. I got sick because I had to bathe in a bucket with water that catch. Sometimes I gotta catch water off of the house to bathe and to wash. Well, to wash your clothes, you gotta catch the bus and go on the nearest standpoint that got water to fill up bottles and buckets and travel on the bus with them. I got sick. I catch bacteria on my skin, and the thing about it, the water that was coming in the tanker was not even clean sometimes. I catch bacteria on my skin, caused me to be spending a lot of money for my skin and stuff like that. So it is a fine. I have a personal stake in this because right now it left me with a financial burden for life. I had to pay because the bacteria that I catch on my skin is caused an abscess and stuff like that. I had to pay to get it removed.
Sorry to hear.
And when I get that one removed, I came back home. I had to bathe in the same water again. 4 more came out. So what I had to do, I had to move from my house, go by my sister's house that has the running water until I got better. Because if I did continue doing it, I would be more sick, and it caused me now to have to be using. I'm seeing a dermatologist. I have to be seeing a dermatologist. I have to be using antibacterial cream and bathing with, special. So I have to be bathing with a shampoo, and all of that is come with a cost in order to protect my skin. So all of these is situation that we face. Now, I called them and they were saying I can be compensated, but the time I have to go through, it doesn't worth it. The lot of red tape, you gotta go through too much paperwork. And the stress isn't worth it. The stress isn't worth it. Because I have to go back at the doctor, get a receipt. When every time I visit the dermatologist, and it's an ongoing thing. So I don't know how that one, and then I have to visit the legal department. They're telling me I got to do this, and I have to do that. It isn't worth it.
I got you.
So it is what, and sometimes your clothes mash up. You have to go and pay a laundry. They should be paying the laundry bill because we are paying them for water. We sign a contract for water. They breach their contract.
We don't get water all the time.
No, the water don't run because
I don't know. I can tell you. I'll be honest with you.
One pipe up there burst. One place up there, that's the main. 2 bursts down there, and they burst for months. Nobody's coming to fix them. I reported it. Other people come here and see it, and it was reported by other people. Nobody ain't coming to fix it. What can we do? It all boils down to management. So in order for me to get something done, I always have to go on the radio. Radio works. When I go on the radio, it's like when you call the office, this is my personal experience. When you call the office, it's like, all right, ma'am, I'm gonna send you the report. Sound like a CD that stick. After that, no, nothing is being done. You call back again, make a fresh report, and you keep getting the runaround. I just called 1, 2. When it's the 3 time I sent it, the last time I called him back. Then I got to be heading to the media to get something done, which is not nice. It's not something that I like doing, but in order to survive, I have to do it because I have to get water. But luckily, I have a tank now. But in the instance when the water in the tank go down, if the tank go dry, what's gonna happen? I cannot see my neighbors that doesn't have tank want water and don't give them a bucket of water. That is not me. That is not who I am. If I got a half tank of water and 6 of my neighbors want a bucket of water, they surely to come and have it. Because I know what it's like not to have water. Sometimes the tanker can't come out at night. 12 o'clock in the night, you gotta get up out your bed and go cross out there just to catch a bucket of water. It is hard and it is wrong and it's inhumane. You can't even see if you're catching a frog, a dog, whatever. You cannot see, but when you don't catch your water, look at the distance we live from the front road. Think about the others, my neighbors that live past me. It is hard.
Well, Carlita, I want to thank you for, giving me some of your time. And, you know, if we can do this again when I'm back here, we can talk.
Sure.
About, you know, so I just want to thank you, and I will leave your social media so people can check you out. They can follow you. They can read up on the story and, you know, what's going on in the neighborhood. Because you do, you know, you're very vocal about the community which we all stay in. So I want to thank
because
you.
it's a beautiful community. I'm very passionate about this community. This community has made me who I am, and I'm proud of it. Will always be proud of White Hill, sweet White Hill.